Good morning, children. We are discussing the diseases. Which one? The human seventh chapter. What is the seventh chapter? Human health diseases. Human health and diseases. Okay. In this human health and diseases, we are discussing about what we are discussing. Bacterial. Very important. What is called bacterial and bacterial and what is called viral diseases. Bacterial and viral diseases we are discussing. Bacterial and viral diseases. Okay, so first we are going to discuss about bacterial and viral diseases. First we are discussing about bacterial, what is called diseases. Bacterial diseases we are discussing. Okay, children, how this will be spread from one person to another person we are going to discuss. So number of bacterial species is very high. Bacterial species are very high. This point you should have to remember. Bacterial species are very high. Okay, children. This point you should have to remember. Bacterial species are very high. Only few bacteria are associated to human diseases. So some only causes the diseases. Those are called pathogenic bacteria. What is called pathogenic bacteria? Pathogenic bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria. This point you should have to remember. Pathogenic bacteria. Such pathogens may emit pathogenic bacteria. So these pathogenic bacteria releases which one? Toxins, and these toxins affects the body. Okay, children, very important toxins they will release, and that releases the affects the body. Common pathogenic bacteria on the table will be there. How bacteria will be spread? The bacteria will be spread. Bacteria spread through air. Bacteria spread through what is called air. The bacteria spread through air. First point, water. Thus through water, through air, or by very important, by inhaling. By very important, by, okay, children, inhaling. What is called inhaling. Okay, inhaling the what is called droplets. By the inhaling the droplet, or what is called droplet or aerosol. Droplet or aerosols, or even what is called, or even what is by sharing utensils. Even by sharing what is called utensils. By sharing utensils. Dresses with an infected person. Okay, dresses with what is called dresses with infected person. Okay, children, dresses with infected persons. Dresses with infected persons. Infected person. This point also you should have to remember. Sharing utensils, dresses with infected persons. Okay, this also you should have to remember. Typhoid fever. Next important one, typhoid fever. Typhoid fever. Okay, typhoid fever can be confirmed by, very important, can be, how can you diagnose? Confirmed by typhoid fever, confirmed by which one? The Vidal test. Okay, Vidal test. This one you should have to remember. Okay, children, observe very carefully. The bacterial diseases we are discussing, the bacterial species are very high. Means number of bacteria is, different types of bacteria are there, bacterial species are there, they are very high than the all other species. All bacteria cannot cause harm. Some are useful bacteria is there, some are harmful bacteria is there. The harmful bacteria are called, what is called pathogenic bacteria. they releases the toxins in our body. When the pathogenic bacteria enter in our body, they releases the toxins. These toxins affects the body. These toxins affects the body, causes the diseases. Okay, so bacteria spread through, how bacterial will be diseases or bacteria will be spread through the air, water, or by inhaling the droplet or aerosols, or even by sharing utensils. For example, the patient used things when the healthy person use, in the sense this bacterial diseases or bacteria will be spread from patient to, or the utensils to healthy person. Then dresses with infected person, the infected person dresses, if the healthy person use, that healthy person also will get that problem. So typhoid fever, very very dangerous. This is caused by bacteria. The typhoid fever can be confirmed by how that person have the typhoid or not. The fever is typhoid fever or not. How can we confirm, in the sense, by the which one test is there. That test name is called Widal test. This is the neat bit. What is called the Widal test. Which test we will use in the confirmation of what is called typhoid fever. That is called Widal test. What is called Widal test. This point you should have to remember. The next we are going to discuss about viral diseases. What we are going to discuss about viral diseases. Okay, children, observe very carefully. Okay, viral diseases. Viral diseases. Viral diseases. Okay, viruses are, these all are, viruses are, okay, viruses. You can write, okay, viruses. Viruses are, okay, viruses are what you called the smallest intracellular, the smallest intracellular obligate, what you called obligate parasites. This point also you have remember that smallest viruses are smallest intracellular obligate parasites which multiply, okay, multiply within living cells, multiply within what you called living cells. Next important one, and another important one, outside the living cells, outside the living cells, the viruses they cannot carry, this point you should have to remember. They cannot carry out the which one, the characteristics of a characteristics of a the most important one, characteristics of a living organism. This point you should have to remember. Next one, viruses invade living cells. Okay, they enter into the living cells. Okay, and forcing the cells to create, and forcing the cells to create, what you called, to create, most important thing, they create new, okay, new viruses, this also you should have to remember. Okay, children, the next important thing what we are going to discuss is the new virus break out the cell. The new virus, okay, break out the cell. The new virus break out the cell, okay, break out the cell, killing it, okay, killing it. Next, and invade other cells, and invade, what I called, invade other cells, Okay, in the body. In the body. This point you should have to remember. Invade other cells in the body, causing diseases in the human beings. Causing diseases. What you call causing diseases in what you called human beings. Human beings also very important. Rhinoviruses causes rhinovirus. The rhinovirus, what you called the rhinoviruses causes, most important, rhinoviruses cause one of the cause, most important, one of the, okay, it's a very important, one of the most, okay, one of the most infectious, okay, infectious ailment. What is the most infectious ailment? Called the common cold. Called the common cold. This point you should have to remember. Called the common cold. Next, viral diseases. Next point. The viral diseases are, okay, viral diseases are generally grouped into four types. So viral diseases are four types. Okay, children, on the basis of, on the basis of what you called, on the basis of the symptoms, on the basis of the symptoms, the viral groups are, diseases are divided into four types. Okay, on the basis of produced in the body organisms. Okay, produced in the body organs. Okay, in the organs. This point you should have to remember, in the organs. Okay, number one. First one, what category we are going to discuss is number one. Okay, number one. What is the number one? Pneumotropic. What do you call? Pneumotropic. Okay, diseases. Pneumotropic diseases in the sense, come on, respiratory. First one is respiratory infection. Respiratory tract infected by what you called influenza. This point also you should have to remember. Next, dermotropic. What you called dermotropic diseases. What you called dermotropic diseases. What are those? The skin and what you called skin and subcutaneous tissue. Subcutaneous tissue, skin and subcutaneous tissues, okay, affected by, very important, affected by chicken pox. What you called chicken pox and measles. Okay, measles. This point you should have to remember. Next, the third category. What is the next one? The third category is viscerotropic. What is called? Viscerotropic. Okay, viscerotropic diseases. This point also you should have to remember. So means blood. Okay, blood and visceral organs. Okay, this point also you should have to remember. Blood and visceral organs affected by which one? Yellow fever and dengue fever. Yellow fever and which one? Dengue fever. So listen carefully, children. Observe very carefully. This is the most important concepts we are discussing. Children, we are discussing viral diseases. The viruses are smallest intracellular obligate parasite. What is the meaning of these? They live inside of the cell. They live inside of the cell. Okay. Obligate means they live inside of the cell. Okay. They live inside of the cell. And they multiply within the cell. What do you call? They multiply. What do you call? Within the cell. They multiply within the living cells. Multiply within the living cells. Okay. Multiply within the living cells. Outside the living cells, they cannot carry out the characteristics of living organisms. Very, very important bit. What is this one? Outside. Outside the living cells, they cannot. This is the first point. Carry out the characteristics of a living organism. So what is this the meaning of cells? When there is in the cells, multiply within the living cells. In the living cells, they will multiply like anything, but outside of the living cells, they cannot carry out the characteristics of a living organism. So this point you should have to remember. Viruses invade living cells. First viruses, what they will do? The viruses invade the living cells, forcing the cells to create new viruses. Forcing the cells to create new viruses. For example, here I am telling, see now, this is a virus. Virus entering into this one. So DNA, this virus will join with the DNA and multiply. Then what will happen? So many, what we call viruses. Then this cell will be die. So new virus break out the cell. So break out the cell and killing it. So this new viruses kills the old cell, and this will be again, this will be affect the invade the other cells in the body. So they will be invade the other cells of the body, causing diseases in human beings. Okay children, causing diseases in human beings. What I am telling should have to listen carefully. Viruses invade living cells and forcing those living cells to create new viruses. They will multiply, they will utilize that cell machinery, DNA and all the cell cytoplasm, all the machinery they will utilize, and they will create some new viruses, and the new viruses or newly formed viruses, they break out the cell of that and killing it. That cell, the old, where they will be multiply, that cell will be die, and they invade other cells, and they will come out and they will invade into the other cells or other cell in the body. So causing diseases in the, they will causes, so invade the other cells and causing which one? The newly formed viruses. What they will do? Causes diseases in human beings. So next one is the best example I am telling, rhinoviruses. What do you call? Rhinoviruses cause one of the most infectious element, you know very well, called the very important need bit. Which virus causes the common cold? The most important infectious element called the, what do you call that is? Common cold. The common cold is the most infectious element, is caused by the which virus? Rhinovirus. Viral diseases are 4 types. Viral diseases are how many types? 4 types. And based on which one? The viral diseases are 4 types on the basis of the symptoms. Okay, on the basis of the symptoms which are generated in the organs. Very, very important. In the organs, these viral diseases creates the symptoms in the organs. Based upon the symptoms of that organs, the viral diseases are divided into 4 types. Number 1, first one is pneumotropic. Pneumo means lungs or respiration. Okay, pneumotropic diseases means the respiratory tract infected by which one? Influenza. Influenza is the virus. So respiratory pneumotropic diseases means respiratory tract infected by influenza. Next one is dermotropic diseases. Derma means skin. The skin diseases are and subcutaneous tissues affected by chicken pox and measles. Affected by which one? Chicken pox and measles. So the derma means skin related. What are those? Skin and subcutaneous tissues affected by chicken pox and measles. Then viscerotropic diseases. Viscerotropic in the sense they are related to the which one? the blood, viscerotropic in the sense blood and visceral organs. What are the visceral organs? Kidneys, intestinal tracts, pancreas, liver. Such kind of organs are infected by viruses. In the sense, such kind of viral diseases are called viscerotropic diseases. By which one? Blood and visceral organs affected by yellow fever and dengue fever. So these are the which one? The common characters, and one more type is there. That one more type we are going to discuss. Okay, children, the one more diseases is there. That one more type we are going to discuss. Okay, what is one more type of viral diseases? One is what you called neurotropic. What you called neurotropic diseases. Neurotropic diseases. What are the neurotropic diseases? Central. What I said? Central nervous. Okay, central nervous system affected by. Okay, affected by. Very important. Central nervous system affected by rabies and what you called polio. Okay, some common viral diseases in human beings also we will see in the given table. So these are the one more important, the what we discussed, visceral organs infected by virus, respiratory tract infected by virus, and what you call skin infected by virus, and neurotropic infected by virus. In the sense, those are called different names we given. Here the central nervous system affected by the rabies and polio virus. In the sense, rabies and polio virus, in the sense, you know very well, those are called neurotropic viral diseases. What is called neurotropic viral diseases. Okay, children. The next we are going to discuss about tables also in the next class. But up to here, up to that, you should have to remember one more some problems. What are the some more problems? Protozoan diseases. Protozoans. About 15 genera. How many? 15 genera of protozoans. 15 genera of protozoans. This point you should have to remember. Live as parasite. Live as parasites within the human body, and cause diseases. Okay, this point you should have to remember. First one I am telling today, I am telling about amoebiasis. They called amoebiasis. What is amoebiasis? We are going to discuss. Amoebiasis also called what is called amoebic dysentery. What is called amoebic dysentery. This point you should have to remember. Amoebic dysentery. Okay, amoebic dysentery. This point you have to remember. The next, another important one, or amoebic dysentery is also called, another term is there, that is called, what is called amoebic dysentery, are also called amoebic colitis. What is called amoebic what is called colitis. What is called colitis. This point also you should have to remember. Is caused by very dangerous, okay, protozoan, that is called entamoeba. What is called entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica, very important protozoan parasite. okay, which lives in, where it lives, it lives in, okay, human large intestine. Human, where it will be live in the human large intestine. That is also very important point. Human large intestine, and feeds on what you called food particles. Feeds on food particles. Okay, food particles and what you called bacteria. Feeds on food particles and what you called bacteria. This one you should have to remember. Infective stage of, next different stages are there in the life cycle, but here I am telling infective stage. What you called infective stage of this parasite. Infective stage of this parasite is what you called is the tropozoite. What you called tropozoite. This point also you should have to remember. Which penetrates the, now what it will do, which penetrates, what you call, which penetrates the, okay, of walls of host intestine. Okay, host intestine is also called, you know very well which one, colon. Host intestine, and secretes, very important. Okay, and and secretes, okay, and secretes, what they will secrete, histolytic enzymes. What is called histolytic enzymes, they will be secrete, and causing what, then automatically what will happen, causing number one, ulceration. What is called ulceration, you know ulcers are coming, and also bleeding. Okay, ulceration, bleeding, and abdominal pain, okay, these all points we have to remember. And stools, okay, stools with excess mucus. What you called excess mucus, very dangerous problem. Then what symptoms of amoebiasis can range from, what are the symptoms, what are the symptoms of amoebiasis? What is called amoebiasis? This one we are going to discuss now. The symptoms of amoebiasis. Okay, from diarrhea to dysentery with diarrhea. Okay, from what is called, from diarrhea. Okay, from diarrhea to what is called dysentery. Diarrhea to dysentery with what you call blood and what you called mucus, with blood and mucus in the stool. This point you should have to remember. So house flies, what you called house flies acts housefly acts as a carrier. What you called as a carriers, as a carrier for transmitting, houseflies are carrying, transmitting the parasite. Okay children, observe very carefully. Okay, this one you should have to remember. So viral diseases we discussed, it's over. So viral diseases, one more last type of viral disease. What I said, viral only. The last viral disease is what we call neurotropic disease. The central nervous system affected by rabies and polio virus, in the sense they are called neurotropic viral diseases. Okay children, CNS, central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. Next we are going to discuss about protozoan. What is called protozoan diseases. There are so many types of 15 genera of protozoans are live as a parasites. How many? 15 genera. In that, within the human body and causes diseases. 15 genera of protozoans lives as parasites within the human body and causes diseases. How many? 15 genera of protozoans. Number one, first one is amoebiasis. Amoebiasis also called, what you called another name of amoebiasis. The amoebiasis also called amoebic dysentery. So amoebic dysentery are also called, another name is what you called amoebic colitis. What you called amoebic colitis, amoebic dysentery, amoebiasis is caused by one protozoan parasite. What is that one? Entamoeba histolytica. What is this one? Entamoeba histolytica, which lives in human large intestine and feeds on food particles and bacteria. Which is this one? Entamoeba histolytica lives in human large intestine and feeds on food particles and bacteria. The infective stage. So there are trophozoite, cyst form, like the different forms are there in the life cycle of Entamoeba histolytica. The infective stage of this parasite is the which one? Trophozoite. This point you should have to remember, trophozoite, which penetrates the walls of this trophozoite will enter into the walls of host intestine, where it will go. Intestine is there or not? Intestine wall, colon, especially colon, large intestine part is there, no? That intestine colon part wall, this trophozoite will be penetrate and secretes some enzymes, very dangerous enzymes. What is that enzyme's name? Histolytic. What do you call? Histolytic enzymes. Histolytic enzymes means which lyses the tissues or cells. So such kind of what you called enzymes are secreted by this trophozoite stage of Entamoeba histolytica. And cause these histolytic enzymes released in the sense, I said no, they lyses the cell or tissues and causing ulcers and bleeding. So bleeding and abdominal pain, stools with excess mucus, no, motions will be, excess mucus will be come out because of this Entamoeba histolytica. The symptoms of what you call Entamoeba or amoebiasis is symptoms of amoebias from diarrhea to dysentery with blood and mucus in the stools. Blood is there and mucus also there from diarrhea to dysentery. Mainly housefly acts as a carriers. What you call house flies acts as a carriers, what you call, from for transmitting this parasite. Okay, from where for transmitting the parasite? Okay, parasite from contaminated water. From where? Contaminated water and what you called feces. So house flies, what they will do, they will take this what you called house flies as a carrier for transmitting the which one, this amoebiasis causing parasite Entamoeba histolytica and trophozoite or cyst form from where H2 and fecus, and they will transfer to the through another person. Okay, through to another person, or they will place the on the food or what you called water, then the person drink that contaminated this parasite containing food and water, or infected food and water. So the food infected with Entamoeba histolytica, when we eat that food, then we will also get amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery or amoebic colitis. Okay children, thank you so much. Tomorrow one more protozoan parasite we will discuss.